Hey there, Cheesette Count here, CEO of Real Estate. Excited to talk to you about how to lead generate effectively. Really, we're going to talk about the difference between prospecting and marketing and how that translates into your lead generation activities. A lot of times we just hear people say lead generate, lead generate, lead generate. And I think if we always have a fundamental understanding of how that works, we'll be able to do that more effectively. So that's what we're going to talk about. Like, just what is lead generation? How do you do it? How do you do it more effectively? And I'm looking forward to sharing that in this video. So let's get right into it. So when we hear people tell us to lead generate, I think it's very interesting that people make these broad statements, right? So here is what lead generation is. If you don't understand it, it'll jack you up every time. Once I got an understanding of this, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I know what to do. Lead generation is not finding clients. Let me just get that off the ground because you'll hear that. The people say, well, just lead generate. Lead generation is the activity of procuring information. It is the actual act, the time that you spend, the activity that you do to get information. That information could be phone numbers, it could be what is their motivation, what is their ability, what is their timeline. But when I am implementing a lead generation strategy, I have to fundamentally understand how lead generation works. Lead generation is the activity of gathering information. So that may mean you get a lead from Zillow, or you get a lead from a paid lead source, or you get a lead from a referral. Now you're going to call them and say, hey, this is Cheesette calling from XYZ Realty. You raised your hand, you clicked on an ad, you reached out, blah, blah, blah. Now, the goal of lead generation is to gather information. This is why it's super important to be skilled in your conversation. The conversation is what leads to the conversion. The lead generation is the actual activity, but there is a skill set behind it that has to be cultivated. That's where coaching comes in. Like, we do script practice and dialogue practice every Tuesday to help you learn how to have conversations that convert while you're lead generating. Here's what you also have to understand about lead generation. Once you set aside the time, the block of, I'm going to use this time to reach out to buyers, to reach out to sellers, to connect with investors, to reach out to people who could be my potential customers or clients. Now you have to have a place to store this information, to over time systematically build the relationship. Here's what I think is one of the number one problems I see with lead generation. You think that as soon as you call a person, you're going to call and they're going to say, yes, Gisette, come list me today. Most people are going to sit in your database for 6 months to 2 years before they are actually ready, before they make a decision that it's time for them to sell. The reason why lead generation is a game of numbers is because my job is not to sell people. I'm never trying to convince people to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. What I am trying to do, what you should be trying to do instead, is align with people that have already made the decision that that's what they're going to do. So in essence, your goal is to find the motivated. The reason why, let's say I want to talk to 20 people a day, 100 people a week, is because out of 100 people in a week, 5 of them should at least be motivated. The more people I talk to, the more of an opportunity I have to find the motivated. And once I find the motivated, then I offer them the service of real estate services, whether they're buying, selling, or investing. But you have to understand that once I gather this information, if somebody says, Cheesette, great talking to you, I'm going to be selling my house in 6 months. What happens in that 6 months is they're in your database. This is why part of your lead generation strategy must partner well with your database, because once you get the information, they're going into your database, and you have to systematically use your database to deepen the relationship, strengthen the relationship, prepare them for conversion, win the relationship so that when they decide to buy, sell, or invest, they actually think of you. Here's what this will do fundamentally to you. You won't pick up the phone and expect people to do things right now. Yes, you will run into people that when you call them, especially like expires, especially like for sale by owners that are already listed, they're going to say, yes, I do want to sell my house. Not because you called them though, however. They're doing that because they've already made a decision to do that. And that's the fundamental thing that I really coach real estate agents on, is understanding how to develop and implement a lead generation strategy. The lead generation strategy uses the activity of lead generation, understands the long-term effect of nurturing through database, and then that database time, you're calling them, offering value. You're finding out what they need and offering to be a solution to their problems. You're offering resources. You're being personal. You're doing all of the things that it takes to win the relationship. A lot of people ask me, how do you do so much business? Because I win relationships. I don't talk to people about real estate. People talk to me about real estate. I talk to people about life, about business, your kids, your family, things that I know that you're going to enjoy talking about. And guess what happens? When the time comes that they're ready to buy, sell, or invest, they call me. Not because I'm just the best realtor or I'm the best person. They call me because I've taken the time to develop the relationship. And that's really what it's all about. It's really about developing the relationship. How effective can you be at developing the relationship? So if you want to take your lead generation business to the next level, if you want to just really learn how to basically 10x that part of your business, you're going to have to really focus on relationships. And here's what I believe, and I believe this all the time. I believe that agents struggle with lead generation because they really don't care about people. See, if you really care about people, I don't mind calling you saying, how's little Timmy's basketball practice going? Oh, how's your mother's surgery? Because I understand that you're a person outside of real estate. And I also understand that the first part of lead generation is capturing information. The second part is nurturing them, strengthening the relationship. The third part is to prepare them for conversion. The fourth part is to make them actual customers. You have to understand this fundamentally so that now my database strategy is about building the relationship so that the pipeline is there. I'm adding new people, I'm meeting new people, I'm working to foster new relationships. Why? Because I understand if I win the relationship, I win the business. So as you're going out lead generating, I want you to understand you're focusing on people first. Find out what they need. That's why it's imperative that you learn how to ask the right questions. It is also imperative that you practice what you're going to say. The worst thing to figure out what you're going to say is the time you're going to say it. You never want to pick up that phone and get on the phone with somebody and not know what you're going to say. We have an outline for calls on our team, meaning what a call should look like, what questions should be asked. You should do more asking questions than talking. I'm not trying to sell you. You should never try to sell people. You should be listening to people to find out what they want and then figuring out if you are the person that can help them get that. When I meet people, I listen to what they're trying to accomplish. And a lot of times it's real estate related and I can help them, but I got to listen first. And I'm not so hell bent on trying to get a sale that I don't pay attention to them. So I want you to just really challenge yourself. But here's the thing. In our blueprint, we have a conversations project. So we teach you how to have effective conversations with buyers and sellers. A lot of times your confidence in lead generation is not there because you're not doing it consistent enough for it to build confidence. Confidence comes from consistency. The more you do something, the more confident you will be in it. So I want to offer you a strategy session if that's something that you think that you need. But here's what I want you to know. Regardless to how you move forward in business, always focus on the relationship first. That's your highest dividend. Your highest ROI is going to be in the relationships you build in your real estate business. If you need help, there are going to be links down here. We have free resources, and we'll be opening up some conversations practices to the public soon as well. But go out and crush your goals. Understand that you are working with people that have dreams, visions, goals for their life. And when they partner with you, they're partnering with you to help them meet those things and make those things a reality in their life. And that's what you're called to do.